Out front now, Jason Van Tatenhove, the former spokesperson for the far-right Oath Keepers group. He quit the group several years ago. He testified before the January 6th committee and warned of extremist groups using political violence. And Jason, I appreciate your time tonight. I share just some of the rhetoric that we've seen from political figures, right, on Twitter or spoken today. You have been watching that as well as other violent rhetoric online around this indictment. I know it feels heightened to you. What have you been seeing and hearing from extremist and fringe groups that concerns you?
Well, really what concerns me more than, say, the organized groups like the Proud Boys, who seem to have shifted their focus to, drag events and protesting LGBTQ plus events. I'm more concerned with the rhetoric and the messaging that is kind of on this fringe around the national organized groups. That's who made up the majority of the folks that turned out for the January 6th insurrection. And really, that's really the most dangerous aspect of this, because the national groups are fairly good at self-policing and trying to keep people that may not be, that may be more apt to take violent action, kind of out of the area. But, this seems to be more of an organic gathering of people that Trump has been messaging directly to. And we saw that start with the choosing of Waco for the kickoff of the campaign. So,
yes.
I'm very concerned.
So you just heard Shimon talking about the situation tonight, and things could change, right? They could change. They could make decisions and adjust this even now. But currently, the police chief was, pretty adamant, and you saw, the tone in his voice when he was questioned. They don't have a plan to separate or place a barrier right now between any of the groups, whether it be protesters or Trump supporters or anyone else. Does that in and of itself, this kind of lack of a hard barrier of any sort, add to your concern?
Well, I mean, it's a building and they're preparing to defend it. A federal courthouse is somewhat secure to begin with. I think we're going to definitely see a lot of scuffling, maybe some fistfights break out in the crowd. And maybe they're not tipping their hand right now as to what they're doing. But I think law enforcement certainly has learned some of the lessons from January 6th and ignoring the warnings that are out there. So I certainly hope that's the case.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I mentioned Andy Biggs, but I wanted to give you another one. Republican Congressman Clay Higgins tweeting another tweet that some have seen as a not very subtle, in this case, call to action, referring to Trump as our POTUS. That stands for Real President of the United States. Now, I just want to notice that Congressman Higgins is an Army veteran, and he's using military-style language, telling Trump supporters to, quote, buckle up. When you hear that, you hear Andy Biggs talking about war, an eye for an eye. It's not just what message does that say. Does the fact that it is coming from elected representatives in any way open the door even wider or allow and encourage violence even more or not?
Absolutely. And this was part of the playbook that Stuart Rhodes employed with, working with local officials, grooming people to run for local office, because it gives a sense of legitimacy and authority to some of the more violent rhetoric and extremist views out there. And these words are more dangerous than bringing weapons to something, because they inspire, they go on. It's hard to counteract words calling for violent action. It's much harder to defend against that than it is to, harden up a building like a federal courthouse. So and no one has really been held account. We've seen this type of rhetoric coming up to January 6th. We're just now beginning to see some sort of legal account being held. But largely politicians that have been using this rhetoric to get elected and increase their following and whatnot, they really haven't been held to account for the actions that they are inspiring.
Jason, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Hopefully a sobering wake-up call.